trial chambers, more like tiny chambers. Yeah, okay, so the trial chambers are sick, but like, what if we made them bigger, more randomized, and more dangerous? And with no mods installed. While we're at it, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it so you can make these types of structures for yourself. To start out, I need to explain how structures are generated in Minecraft. Think of it like a jigsaw puzzle. There's 3 major components: structure templates, jigsaw blocks, and template pools. Structure templates are the puzzle pieces. They are chunks of a structure. They could be a wall, a room, pretty much anything. When a structure generates, it attaches many of these pieces together to form it. Jigsaw blocks are the connectors of the puzzle pieces, and they come in 2 forms: the generating jigsaw and the connector jigsaw. The generating jigsaws are where the new structure templates will spawn from, and the connector jigsaws are used to line up the new structure template with the one it's generating from. And finally, the template pools are the box that hold the puzzle pieces. Template pools are a list of structure templates that the jigsaw blocks use to decide which structure templates they can generate. Now, I'm sure that was a bit confusing, so to help get a better grasp of this concept, let's see it in practice. A structure will start with an initial structure template as the seed of the structure to grow it from. We'll refer to this as the origin point. From here, the generating jigsaws inside the origin point will look inside the template pool and choose a new structure template to spawn. Once the generating jigsaw chooses one, it will find the connector jigsaw in that new template and spawn it lined up with that connector jigsaw. But now here's where things start getting interesting. What happens if those new templates have generating jigsaws as well? Well, the process repeats. The new generating jigsaws will also spawn structure templates, and if those have generating jigsaws as well, they'll spawn even more templates. And piece by piece, a structure gets built. So let's apply this to our trial chambers. I could just create a bunch of rooms and hallways and slot them all together at random, but there's a problem with that. Unless I were to create an insane amount of rooms, you'll quickly notice the same rooms repeating over and over with no variation. So in order to get the best bang for our buck, we need to make the rooms themselves be randomly generated. As of 1.21, structures can chain up to 20 templates together when they generate, meaning the generating jigsaws will stop spawning new templates after it has chained up to 20 templates in a row. But that doesn't mean that structures are limited to a total of 20 templates, because that limit of 20 isn't based on the actual jigsaw blocks themselves. See, structures generate in a series of steps, which are referred to as levels. Let me give you an example. What if a structure template had 2 generating jigsaws in it? It would generate a new template from both of them. But now we've split our jigsaw chain into 2, so how does the game count how far the chain has gone? Well, this is where levels come in. A level is a step in the generation process where all new generating jigsaws spawn a new template. So when a template has more than 1 generating jigsaw in it, all those jigsaws will generate a new template at the same time during a level. That limit of 20 isn't based on the number of templates that have spawned, but instead, it's how many levels the structure will generate. This means that a structure can grow exponentially. If we generated a structure with 20 levels and every structure template had 2 generating jigsaws, we would double the amount of new templates each level, resulting in a total of 2,097,151 templates. And that's with only 2 generating jigsaws in each template. You could have a lot more with the right design. I don't recommend it though, the lag on even 2 million would be insane. So okay, how do we apply this to our trial chambers? Well, levels at first glance seem to be about how big you can make your structures. But while they do affect that, levels are actually more about the complexity of the structure. The more levels you have, the more you can randomize your structure. It's the difference between having a randomized room versus having a randomized room with a randomized spawner, randomized obstacles, randomized decoration, etc. So real mastery comes from figuring out how to efficiently divide your jigsaw chains enough to have deep randomization without sacrificing the size of the structure. So with that in mind, here's how our trial chamber generates. I start with an origin point that grows the corridor in 4 directions, which instantly 4x's the potential growth of the structure. The corridor then spawns empty rooms from its doorways. Then those rooms will split the chain again. The doorways in the rooms will continue adding new rooms, and also the inside of the room will generate a basic interior layout. Then that layout generates the finer details, like different spawners, staircase designs, obstacles, traps, etc. Admittedly, this design's probably a bit complex for a beginner to learn, but we're trying to improve the trial chambers, okay? That's Minecraft's most complex structure to date. So it is perfectly reasonable if you are struggling with the concepts I've explained so far. This video is actually an updated recreation of an older video of mine where I did the same thing but as a revamp for the box dungeon. There's an info card on the corner right now that links to that video. The design there is a lot simpler to understand, but the details for turning it into a data pack we're about to be getting into is outdated, so make sure to come back here for information on 1.19 or later. And on that note, now that we've gotten through the core concepts, we're about to go full tutorial mode on how to actually use all of it. So if you're just here to see the end result, skip to the timestamp on screen. Okay, deep breath. Let's get into how to set all this up. First, let's discuss creating your structure templates. The maximum size for your templates is 48 blocks in each direction, so you'll need to divide your structure into pieces no larger than that. In order to convert a build into a structure template, you'll need to use the /give command to get a structure block. Place this block one block underneath the northwest corner of your template and click this button twice until it says save. Enter the name of this template in the structure name field, and then under the structure size field, enter the size of your template in the X, Y, and Z coordinates respectively. To ensure you've entered your size correctly, exit the block UI and check if the white outline is matching the edges of your template perfectly. And if you have any entities in this template you would like to be saved as well, you can enable that by changing Include Entities to On. If your template isn't a perfect cube, the air blocks on the outer edges will carve out chunks of the terrain they spawn in. To fix this, Minecraft has another special block called a structure void. These do nothing except one thing. They're recognized as nothing when they're loaded in from a template, meaning they won't overwrite the blocks that were already there. You can toggle Show Invisible Blocks to see air and structure voids represented as blue and pink respectively. Once you've configured these settings to your liking, click the uppercase Save button on the bottom right. You should see a chat notification to confirm that the structure template was saved. And yes, you will have to repeat this for every single template. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. Now, let's go over Jigsaw block usage. You will also get this block with the /give command. Generating and connector jigsaws are the same block, but configured differently inside their UI. Generating jigsaws will always generate new templates in the direction the arrow on them is pointing. That arrow will always face away from the surface you place the block on. Connector jigsaws will always connect face to face with the generating jigsaw it spawned from, with the arrows pointing at each other. If you want the generating jigsaw to spawn a new template directly adjacent to your existing one, place the generating jigsaw on the outermost edge of the template with the arrow facing outwards. Jigsaw blocks can also be placed vertically to make templates spawn upwards or downwards. When placed vertically, they have an extra setting that can be toggled between aligned or rollable. This determines whether the new template can be randomly rotated when spawned. Aligned will rotate the template so that the white bars on the jigsaw blocks will be in line, and rollable will allow it to choose a random rotation for the new template. When a generating jigsaw attempts to spawn a new template, it will avoid overlapping with other parts of your structure. The boundaries that it checks for are the white outline that your structure blocks create. If the new template it's trying to spawn can't fit without overlapping those boundaries, it will try to find a different template that will fit. And if it can't find one that fits, it will fail to generate anything at all. However, generating jigsaws can spawn templates both outside the template it's part of and also inside of it. If it's spawning a new template inside the original template, the new template and all templates that spawn from it must fit inside the boundaries of the original template they're spawning inside of. Or to put it simply, these white borders must never be crossed, whether that's coming from outside of them or inside. Okay, now let's get to configuring the jigsaw blocks. Inside their UI, you'll see 6 fields that we'll concern ourselves with. Don't worry about the others right now. The target pool field is for your generating jigsaws. This is how you tell them which template pool they can get templates from. We're jumping the gun a little bit because this references your data pack file path, but for now, fill it in with the lowercase name for your data pack, a colon, and the name of your structure. And again, skip this step for your connector jigsaws. The name and target name fields are extremely important. They're used to categorize your templates so you can create rules for which templates are allowed to connect to each other. For example, if you have a doorway that you only want hallways to spawn from, you could use the name hall as a category for your hallway templates. If you set your generating jigsaw to have a target name of hall, it will only generate templates that have a connector jigsaw with the name hall. The turns into field is the block you want your jigsaw block to turn into after it generates. It uses the technical name for blocks, which you can easily look up by using the /give command. And these last two fields are completely optional, and if you're learning this for the first time, I would recommend skipping them. The selection priority field defines the order in which you're generating jigsaws in this template will spawn new templates. This is useful in case there's a chance your jigsaws might spawn templates that overlap with each other, in which case you can use this to make sure the most important parts of your structure get spawned. The placement priority is used to prioritize which connector jigsaws get used. The use case for this is a bit complicated, but for example, let's say you're trying to spawn a template with 2 valid connector jigsaws. The game will prioritize using the one with the higher placement priority. However, if the new template doesn't fit from the position of the prioritized connector jigsaw without overlapping another part of the structure, it will then check the lower priority connector jigsaw to see if it fits from there. And again, neither of those are something beginners should worry about, so if you're trying to learn how to do this for the first time, just pretend like those fields don't exist. So before we move on, to summarize, your generating jigsaws should have a target pool and a target name, and your connector jigsaws should just have a name. Okay, now that we've defined our templates and we've configured our jigsaw blocks, it's time to finally turn it into a data pack. For the sake of time, I can't cover every little detail here, but if you follow the steps, it'll work. And feel free to hop into my Discord if you need any help. The first step is to download the basic data pack template in the description. When you open it, it should look like this. Create a data folder if it doesn't already exist, and inside of it, create another folder with the name of your data pack exactly as you wrote it in the start of your target pool inside your generating jigsaws. This folder is called a namespace, and it's a library of files where almost all data pack content gets stored. It follows a strict file path layout so the game will understand how to navigate the information, so unless I specifically say otherwise, everything must be named and organized exactly as shown. Also, every file we make must have their names written in lowercase and spaces be replaced with underscores. Inside your namespace folder, create 2 more folders. One called Structures, and one called WorldGen. Open the Structures folder. This is where you will store your datapack structure template files. It's best practice to create an extra folder per structure you are creating, so you can keep each structure files separate from one another. And you can call these folders whatever you want, again as long as they're lowercase and all spaces are replaced with underscores. Now, pull up the World Save folder where you saved your structure templates in. Open the Generated folder and follow the file path until you find your structure templates. Copy them all into the folder we just made in your data pack and return to your namespace folder. Open the WorldGen folder and create 3 more folders. One called Structure, one called Structure_set, and one called Template_pool. Open your Template pool folder and copy the file of the same name from the top folder here. Rename it to the name of your structure exactly as you named it in the second half of your generating jigsaws. Then, create a second copy of it and add start to the end of its name. You can technically name this whatever you'd like, but this template pool will store the origin structure template for your structure, so this is an easy way to recognize this as the quote-unquote starting pool. Open the first file with Notepad and change the name field to your namespace, a colon, and the name of this template pool file. Under the location field, put your namespace, a colon, and the folder you put your structure template files in. Put a slash at the end, and then add a comma right after this curly bracket. Copy and paste this exact section one time for each structure template your structure has, excluding one for your origin structure template. That'll go in your starting pool in a minute. Oh, and make sure you remove the comma from the last copied section, or your whole pack will break. Yes, seriously, one comma will break the whole thing. After the slash in each copy-pasted section, write the name of each of your structure template files, excluding your origin structure template. Don't include the file extension, just the plain name. And you've now created a template pool for your jigsaw blocks to use. But there is one more important step. The wait field is the probability of that template getting spawned. This is a very important step to tune your structure's generation exactly how you want it. So change the number based on what probability you would like this template to have of generating. It can be anywhere from 1 to 150, with 1 being the lowest probability and 150 being the highest. There's a good chance you'll come back here a few times to tune it further after you've seen how your structure generates in-game. Now go ahead and save this file, close it, and open the other template pool that has start at the end of its name. Change the name field to your namespace, a colon, and the name of this template pool file. Change the location field exactly as we did for the other one, but this time put your origin structure template here. Then save and close it and return to your WorldGen folder. Open your structures folder and copy the file of the same name from the top folder here. Rename it to the name of your structure as you would like it to be shown with the /locate command, and then open it. This file controls most of the parameters for how your structure will spawn in the world. In the Biomes field, enter the technical name of the biome you want this structure to spawn in. If you want it to spawn in multiple biomes, create a set of brackets and inside, write each biome inside quotes and separated by commas. You can also easily look up the technical names of biomes with the /locate biome command. The max distance from center field is the maximum distance in blocks the structure can generate from the origin structure template. The maximum value is 116. The size field is how many levels you would like your structure to generate. For 1.20 and lower, the limit is 7, but as of 1.21, that limit has been increased to 20. The start height field relates to where the structure gets placed in the world on the y-axis. This can get rather complex for some relatively minute differences, so I'm gonna simplify this a bit. Check the Jigsaw structure page on the Minecraft wiki if you want more information than what I give. If you would like your structure to generate underground, change the max inclusive number to the uppermost height limit you want your structure to spawn, and change the min inclusive number to the lowermost. If you would like your structure to generate on the surface, change Minecraft:uniform to Minecraft:constant. Then change max inclusive to value, then change the number in that field to 0, and then remove the min inclusive field entirely. After that, add a new field called project_start_to_height_map. If your structure will be spawning on land or on top of the water, use world_surface. If your structure is spawning at the bottom of the ocean, use ocean_floor. And again, to be clear, everything I just said is if you want your structure to be spawning on the surface, so if you're not spawning it on the surface, disregard all of that. In the start pool field, put your namespace, a colon, and the name of your starting template pool, the one with your origin structure template. The step field determines what stage of world generation your structure will spawn in. This is another complicated one, so we're gonna keep it simple. If your structure generates on the surface, change this to surface_structures. Otherwise, it'll probably be best to leave it as is. If you find yourself running into generation issues like some of your structure's blocks turning into other blocks, you may want to try out some of the other settings. And those other options can also be found on the Jigsaw Structures wiki page. The terrain adaptation field determines how the surrounding landscape will change to make your structure fit into the world. Bury will fully encase it in the ground. Beard thin is best for surface structures and will make sure your structure has ground underneath all parts of it. And beard box will create a cavern around your structure like ancient cities have. Once you've configured these to your taste, go ahead and save and close it. Return to your WorldGen folder and open the structure_set folder. This is the last step and it's actually pretty straightforward. Copy the file of the same name from the top folder here, and then rename it after your structure. And just to clarify, you actually can call this one pretty much whatever you want. Just again, make sure it's all lowercase and you replace all your spaces with underscores. Once you've done that, go ahead and open it. The last file we worked on controlled how your structure will spawn, but this one controls where. The salt field is the seed for where your structure will spawn. There's really no reason to change this unless you have multiple structures in your pack. The separation and spacing fields are the number of chunks between each place that your structure will spawn. Separation is the minimum distance between them, and spacing is the average distance. Change the structure field to your namespace, a colon, and the name of the file in your structure folder. Not the folder with all your structure templates, the one we just finished setting up before this. Alright, the gauntlet is over. Give yourself a pat on the back because your structure is ready to generate. Just open the new world screen, open your data packs tab, and then drop in your data pack and load it up. Well, what do we have here? This doesn't look like a normal trial chamber to me. Oh, it looks like everything's working just fine. Let's check it out. Everything should work pretty much like a normal trial chamber. We should be able to do ominous events, get vaults, and gross. Oh, it looks like we found the corridor. Ooh, that's big. Man, I really went and took the go big or go home mentality pretty far, didn't I? Okay, can I do parkour? Yes. Yes! We've got a maze module, it seems, and oh, and a breeze spawner. Ow. Okay. You gonna give me any goodies? Ooh, trial key. Oh, this is a vault. Perfect timing, because I just got a key. Come on, Minecraft loot boxes. It's fine. Couple vaults and a bog spawn. Okay. Oh, come on! I hate bogs so much. They look cool, and that's where my enjoyment of them ends. Ow. Big ow. Ooh, but I did get a trial key, so it's all worth it. Give me the goods. Come on, come on. Ooh, diamond axe. Unbreaking one? Heck yeah, dude. Of course, it wouldn't be the trial chambers unless there was like some traps that you could activate with wind charges. So like, for instance, who needs a bridge anyway? All right, let's see if I can dunk on this man. Get over here. Nope, nope. Oh, let's go. All right, parkour, parkour. Oh, almost overdid it. Come on, can I skip this one altogether? Nope. Oh, crap. Okay. Ah. I'll explain how you can get your hands on this data pack in a moment, but first I want to explain why this video exists. I've been playing Minecraft for over a decade, and the reason I made this video is because throughout my time playing, I've had so many ideas I wanted to see brought to life in the game. If you're someone who feels the same way, I spent dozens of hours on this video to help you specifically. The feeling of bringing your ideas to life in a game is unmatched. But who says you need to stop at Minecraft? True, game development can require many skills and it can be very hard to learn them all. But that's why I partnered with the Southern New Hampshire University as the sponsor for this video. Their online game development program gives you the knowledge and experience to create your own games. The courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience, so you'll have opportunities to connect with the industry and find opportunities to grow a career. You'll learn how to bring characters and environments to life with 2D and 3D modeling, texturing, and game physics. You'll learn how to make killer interfaces to make your game intuitive and fun. And you'll even learn the 3 major programming languages: C++, C#, and Java, the pillars to every great game. SNHU is accredited, non-profit, and has radically affordable tuition. They were voted one of the country's most innovative universities by US News and World Report. So SNHU is equipped to help you every step of your journey, even after graduation, to help with the job hunt in this increasingly competitive industry. Go to snhu.edu/codeneon, also linked in my description, to see if you qualify. And again, thanks so much to SNHU for sponsoring this video. If you want to get your hands on this data pack, it's currently in early access on my Patreon, link in the description. Once it's out of early access, it'll be free for everyone, which will also be linked in the description once that happens. And if you like this project, I have a whole playlist where I quote-unquote fix Minecraft. I've fixed archaeology, the deep dark, the oceans, and more. Check it out, it's on the screen right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!